Support for this podcast comes from the patrons at patreon.com/FMLFPL. Okay! Welcome to Midfield Milan.
This Walsh.
What's up, bud?
What's up, baby?
How many points do you have? How many points do I have?
Don't have to worry about that. Not many. I feel great, though. I feel great.
Nate has taken a strong lead.
Producer Nate, Pod Boys, Circle Jerk League, first place for now.
Will he step on the neck and put it to rest,
No,
or will
there's no
one
shot.
of us fight back?
I have something to say here. I got all my hits out of my system.
Okay.
I'm farming up. I'm gonna fucking fly this month.
Let's look at Team Walsh here.
I'm gonna fly this month. I'm telling you, man.
I love the swagger.
I'm very confident. I feel very confident about
what
this
moves
situation.
did you do this week? It's such a bloodbath of the lineups. I genuinely don't remember what you did.
Fucked off Bumo
And
Bruno.
Bumo to Saka.
Bumo, Bruno, rhyming classic nightmare, both picks.
Yeah.
And Kanate, obviously.
Right.
To Badia Shield, didn't work. I will die before I will get a Chelsea clean sheet on my team before before anything.
I mean,
After
Jorgensen's
the Fofana.
right there.
Well, yeah. well, let's not go there. But and then I got Saka and Eze. So it ended up being like the -8 ended up being like a -3 or so. It wasn't too bad. No problem. Like easily paletted. Could have been better. I mean, I didn't realize that Michaelenko is like 95% owned because every fucking team I've looked at has him. Like, it's insane. This within the last 2 days.
And he's still 4-3.
Like. Yeah, but I mean, I didn't remotely consider him because I had 4-3 for my defender spot, and I didn't even really consider him at all.
Well, I didn't even mention him because they have Liverpool, Arsenal, Chelsea, Man City next 4. So, and you needed a starter. So it's just like,
sort of.
Why would you get him?
Yeah. So that didn't work out. I got 4 points from my goalkeeper and 3 defenders combined, and that seemed to have been a big issue for me because it sounded like everybody somehow found a 10-pointer at least, like Timber,
Saliba, yeah.
Right, like Arsenal clean. Everyone was like Vard got 6 points, like even the bad picks got points. So that didn't work out for me. But I got 49 after my -8.
It's a big red.
Dude. It's every week's a big red.
But you're set. Tell me about
I'm
December
set.
and what's going to happen in December.
I don't have to do anything. I can just sit. Now I'm on my 5 free stockpiling path.
Okay.
I mean, I might make one transfer in defense because I still have Pau Gasol. I mean, this could be going better, dude. This fucking bitch ass fuck has 21 points. It's game week 14. He has 21 points.
Worse than 2 points a game week.
That's nuts.
Staggering. Actually staggering.
Nuts.
Yeah.
That is an absolute nutty nut.
1.5
thing.
points per game week, I think.
And he's not on it. I mean, that.
And he probably has 51 points in like 5 Champions League games.
Yeah.
Not even exaggerating, right?
They
What is
clean
it?
every game in UCL.
3 or 4 cleans and a goal or something like that.
It's worse than any promoted. I don't think. Fucking Wout Fosh has more. Like, who has less points in that? It's insane.
It's really
I've had him
hard to
since
get less
game
points
week.
than that.
I've had him since like game week 4.
Fosh is on 24 points.
He has more.
Shits on him.
He's the
Absolutely
worst center
destroys
back
on him.
in the league, on the worst defense in the league, and he has more points than fucking Pau, Torres, Gasol.
Dean,
It's insane.
Huijsen or whatever, the 18-year-old prepubescent kid on Bournemouth, more points.
More points. He's played 100 minutes.
Yeah, he has a total of 300 minutes.
Yeah.
They're all
so
like
he's problematic. It's like, hold him for Brentham and Southampton. Oh, that worked this week.
Yeah,
doesn't fucking play.
Can't. You know who doesn't have more points? Dawson.
Oh, well.
All Dawson did was take a hit this week. A cheeky -4. Hits are fun. Hits work all the time.
But other they do. But other than the defense still being like maybe I make a move there.
Yeah.
I'm chilling so hard, dude. I'm fucking chill. I'm
Your defense
I'm just
is
gonna
fucking hysterical.
It's so bad.
Anderson red flag.
That's an actual huge issue. Like that
Huge
low
issue.
key. I was really relying on
Huge
him when I
issue.
was building this whole system.
Yeah.
Like him being 4-3 and reliable for
And being a player.
Yeah, being not dead was really important. So I mean,
who
knows?
Batty and Sheila, who should come back in, but it's still funny. Pow, who the fuck no? We just covered Pow. Lewis Hall, who's actually a good pick. Your only one, and Greaves, who will never
actually
keep it clean.
No, he will. Actually,
he was really close to a goal. He was really close to a goal,
and they were really close to a clean.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. But it's a very funny defense. Okay, yeah.
It's
time for you to fly. Time for you to fly.
It's Formium time. It's here.
Love it.
I got it. Did it. Team's fucking awesome, and it's gonna be so good this month.
We're playing our own game. I'm on 66, Route 66. Another bullshit gray arrow. It takes me getting an 11-pointer from Mikolenko, 14-pointer from Timber, fucking captain goal, assists here and there, left, right, blah, 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 just to make up for Mo's points and just barely scrape by to get a gray arrow. And I'm just playing on hard mode. I'm just like so down on my season and getting rid of Mo when I got rid of him. And he's averaging, I don't know, 14 points per game since I got rid of him or something. That I'm just like, fuck it. I'm just going to try and see what I can do without him at this point. I just can't get over it. So I'm on hard mode. I'm on fucking nightmare mode, as they call it in Doom, I think, or Ultra Nightmare. Can't remember.
Well, it's more of Ultra. If you're just picking it out of a hat, Ultra Nightmare is more.
I think it's Ultra Nightmare in the new Doom, if I remember correctly, is what they call hard mode, which is that's what I'm playing on. I'm playing on Ultra Nightmare. You fucking plebs are playing on easy mode with Mo.
Well, look, we're each playing in certain modes. I'm playing the no defense hard mode, and you're playing the no Mo hard mode. So
you're playing.
We'll see what happens.
You're playing
there.
You can actually get whoever you want mode. You just need to take as many hits as you need to take to get them.
I'm done hitting.
I haven't taken a hit all season, and I'm just still doing terribly because I don't have one player.
I'm done hitting.
What did you think of the Mikolenko assist, by the way? I thought that was hilarious when I saw the replay of that. It was like, you get an assist in this game if you take the worst fucking shot of all time that's off target, blocked by 3 defenders, and literally negative % chance of going in, and it rebounds out and your teammate scores. Yeah. But if you're fucking Morgan Rogers and you cross and it bounces off some fucking idiot's head and Cash scores, you don't get an assist. It's just like, what are we doing? Intended target matters more than fucking, you can just shoot from 50 yards away and get an assist. Sure.
I mean, it's the rules of the game. It's just the rules of the game. What's actually more hilarious, because I was looking at Mikolenko's earlier about his points. Ashley Young is the 4th highest points in defense. Ashley Young. Smashly Ashley.
My God.
That's why I have no defenders. That's actually that's a microcosm reason of why I have no defenders, because
he has
Ashley Young
negative point games this season.
Doesn't need him.
He got -1 versus United, -2 versus Brighton. He also has a 0-pointer versus Villa. Yeah. Yep. And he's 4th highest.
Doesn't matter.
That's
doesn't need
wild.
him.
I can't believe he scored a goal, and it was a free kick.
It wasn't like worldy, but it was
accident.
a worldy. It was great. Yeah. I mean, these are the things that it's just like, fuck.
It's amazing.
This position. Like, I don't care. I mean, this is like, honestly, I think I have had a revelatory moment with defenders where I'm just like, next year, like, I'm just 4 or 5. Like, I don't give a shit about defense anymore the rest of my life, I think.
Yeah.
Unless if, the way the scoring has changed has been so dramatic that...
Well, that's what I was going to say, is I wonder if they'll correct it. I think they have to. I think it's just ridiculous.
Well, they change shit every year, but, it's usually... either whatever it is, like we can look and see if they tweak.
We'll reevaluate there.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of it is just the bonus point system, but it's also a lot of just like there are less cleans every year. Like there are no cleans. Like there are less cleans last year than the year before. I don't know where we're on track for, but we're having these years where we have like 4 or 5 cleans, and like the defenders on Arsenal is like, yes, obviously they're really good on set pieces and they score goals and shit. But it's like, I mean, we talk about Timber, you're always going to find 1 or 2, but generally speaking, like we're looking for these 5-5 and up defenders on the couple of good defenses, and they don't really have very good attacking threat. Like, they're, again, of course, Trent does, Gab scores
there's
on
a few exceptions.
There's a few exceptions.
Yeah, I mean, like, you
overall,
just look at like City, Newcastle, Spurs, like the other teams other than Liverpool and Arsenal where people spent money, and just none of them have any cleans. Chelsea, they're on 3 cleans in 14 games. It's fucking wild. But the bonus, and
the bonus is huge.
They literally changed all the rules, and I feel like they're just like, let's see how it happens, and we're just gonna do it for an entire season and never look again. I mean, like, you can be fucking Fulkrug, sub on, get the most garbage time of any garbage has ever timed goal, and get bones. Just because you're fucking forward in a 3-1 mauling.
Yeah.
And it's just, they just like fucked it up so badly.
Yeah. But looking also just at the defense right now, right? We're in game week 14, and there have been international breaks and minutes have been hard to come by, but I mean, generally speaking, like the top 15 defenders, like they're averaging about 3 points per game. Like that's what you're looking at.
Yeah.
They're getting about 3 points. Like even the cheap guys, the expensive guys, like if you kind of take those guys, top 15, and just average them out, that's around what they're getting.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit about that.
The highest in the game right now is Verge, because Trent missed some time.
Yeah.
And even he's on pace for 170, which is obviously good. But in years past, that's like...
That'd be like the 6th best defender or something.
Because there'll be fullbacks on Liverpool, fullbacks on City.
Yeah, you'd have a couple 180s, a 200.
Yeah.
So, I mean, looking at
that's
that,
nothing.
It's so different than years past. And the defenders aren't like cheaper. I mean, there are more 4-5s, but there are more 4-5s in mid-table teams in years past, perhaps. Like maybe there were more 5s, but generally it's like, I'm just looking at these guys like, dude, fuck all these guys. I don't care. And then we have these, like Mo just gets 15 points every week. I mean, there are these few players that just get, and I'm like, oh my God.
He's on pace for over 400 points. Yeah. Over 400 points right now. And look, he's at 151.
Yeah.
Like if you just built a zombie team with permacat Mo, I mean, you're halfway to my total points already, pretty much, Mo.
It's pretty good.
Like, that's fucking bonkers.
Yeah.
All right, I'm not going to do league updates because, game today, we know how it goes. Pile up, yada, yada, yada. So, let's move on.
Just can't be fucked with defense.
I know. Another quick turnaround. I don't know. What should we start with? Should we talk about Kevin?
Sure.
I mean, EB said, how many hits should I take to get Kevin, Sex Dog, De Bruyne in? Super Hands, Kev in, or do you have no soul? And Hamburg, is Kev back, or are the minutes too risky? Cannot believe he just comes in and like hadn't played more than like 11 minutes, and then he's good to just start full pelt, whatever, 70 minutes, whatever he did out of nowhere. It's just like weird. I don't know. I'm not a fucking doctor, but it just seems bizarre.
Yeah, but dude, we were talking about this. I mean, you were a little bit more pessimistic about his potential for starting the NFL game because that was something I raised. And he's been playing 15 minutes or so for a couple game weeks here, but it's Kevin.
I have no doubt of his quality, but it's just, as they're losing 7 games in a row or whatever the fuck, if he's fit for more than 11 minutes, I think he would play more than 11 minutes.
But it's like, but you also have to look at, like, there's a lot of context with him because he had the long-term injury and we know that he's brittle and he doesn't have the kind of running that he does. But the 3 games he subbed on for were all were very intense games. Like at Brighton is not like some chill vibe game where you can jog. Spurs, like they're all over you all the time. You can't jog and chill. At Liverpool, like forget it. So, do you want to try and push him in one of these really high intensity games, or do you want to really ease him in? And then home NFO is like, oh, you don't have to sprint once if you don't want to. Yeah. And he might be on the bench against Palace. Like I would be very surprised if he started Palace, honestly. And then he'll start the Manchester Dart because it'll probably be a similar, like then he'll have another week. And then, his minutes are going to be managed. And I'm concerned about him as a pick from that standpoint before mid-January. Like I want to see a lot more fitness. And I also just can't understand like getting him over any of the other premiums. I just feel like you have better money. Like you have the other three guys. Like I'd rather a fucking Son probably than Kevin or something or Odegaard. Start. Odegaard. Like, I mean, there are guys that are not Mo, Palmer, Saka that I would prefer to have. And if I didn't have one of those three, I would prefer all three of those to Kevin. So I still don't really get the team that gets Kevin unless if you're just doing perverted shit, which is fun and fine, but we don't.
I'm just looking ahead. Here's a shout for everyone. Gameweek 17, 18, 19, all in a row. City are the first game of the game week.
Whoa. Leak much?
If you want to actually take the punt, do it then, and you'll know to sit or start him every week. You'll know ahead of the deadline.
Great shout.
Kind of weird. Kind of interesting though.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I love throwing them in the early game, don't they?
I know. Weird to be 3 in a row though. That's no one gets that. But I don't know. It's a weird pile up anyway. I mean, one of them's Boxing Day, one of them's whatever.
I was actually more interested in the jacketing in that game.
Jack was good. Doku got a haul.
Yeah, well, you
love Doku.
He's broken clocks twice a day situation with Doku. But I thought Jack was just like excellent. And he's been out for a long time, and maybe he's going to start playing in this role more and just play. I mean, they
need him.
They need him. Like they need to. This is like Anfield Rap. They're obsessed with analyzing and talking about City, and they always have like Neil always has his theories, and he comes up with like these fucking shit.
Him and Mooney's like, WhatsApp chat must just be out of control. Because they're Mooney, just nonstop talking.
I can't with that guy. He just monologues for 20 minutes, and I don't even know what he says. But to me, City, they need to score 3+ every game. Like that's what. I don't understand.
The route forward.
But I mean, I don't know how clear it is because like they were talking about 1-0, like shutting it down, control and stop attacking kind of thing is like, this is what they need to do.
But to me, it's they don't they can't defend. They mean that other team never gets the ball. Pass around forever. Like old City, where they're just like, they play 8 midfielders and
but they don't,
no one
can't. But they can't do that. They don't have. No, I mean, they have like 2 midfielders. They have Bilv, Gundo, who can probably do it, but probably not also because he can't move. And then Jack. Like fucking Doku can't do that. He can just dribble. Like Savio can't do that. He can just dribble. None of these players have any. I mean, McAtee could do it, but he seems to hate him. He never plays him.
I feel like is not really like a possession player.
So I mean, to me, it's like. What he was starting to do a little bit here in this home game is like, okay, like there's something to build towards here with, with Jack having some control, with Kevin floating, with Doku being direct. And then, I mean, Haaland's, well, let's talk about Haaland because.
And they just want to also say like NFO absolutely should have scored and City just got away with that. So like the quality of your attacker having City in the next fixture is still good.
Yeah.
As far as we know, it's still good. Yeah. But yeah, Haaland, I mean, I don't know. I don't even field the questions anymore when in our Discord.
Should we do Haaland?
Is it finally time to do Haaland? Like, fucking, how many weeks in a row are you going to ask this? Like, we're holding
every week.
I don't care. Like, nothing matters. I mean, he was really quiet. He had that early chance from Kev. He was actually pretty good creatively. He was coming a lot deeper.
Yeah, they were springing counters in the middle third a lot.
Yeah, there was Doku on the left and like Kev on the right a lot of the time, or Jack alongside him, and he was like coming deep, picking up the ball, playing the ball. And even that Gvard chance too, where Gvard just like ran right down the middle and missed, like that could have been an assist too. I don't really think that that's their like way forward. That's their fucking,
He's turning
Haaland is
Haaland
now
into
just Kane, and he's just gonna play CDM. Like I'm not that worried about him still getting shots and scoring goals, but yeah, I don't know. What do you want to say about him?
Well,
Bad
I mean, I
pick.
think it's it's bad pick. I mean, I was concerned more than I have been recently because he wasn't farming like he has been in terms of just shots.
Yeah, the stats were pre-Liverpool. He still had the best stats in the league, including Mo, of like underlying stats that would project goals normally. Liverpool, he was really quiet. He did literally nothing that whole game. And then NFO, we just talked about he was quiet. So is it a trend, or are they two of the top 5 defenses? Like, yeah, we'll have to see, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, I might cap him this week at Palace. Just because
we'll
it's a
talk about
weird
that.
fucking week. But I don't know. Do you have any... Are you starting to think about getting rid of him? Is that what you're saying?
No, not at all. I'm just
Okay.
more intrigued from a standpoint of like, why was he quiet this game? Because like I watched Doak, like he looked like he was very sad the whole time. That I missed the first like 20 minutes of the game, and I watched most of the rest. And like, yeah, I was, we could see it a lot in the Liverpool game where he was just like so isolated, and they had such bad personnel behind him that he's just like not even fucking running any. He's not even trying to make runs because he's like,
Nunes
you can't
one-on-one with Trent, and he's just like waiting for Nunes to lose the ball.
Yeah, it's like you can't pass it to me. You can't pass it to me. So like, other than Kevin, like, because that's where I see him as like, okay, other than Kevin, I'm just, and Bilv is Bilv's powers are also waning a lot. I think he's getting. I think he's a lot worse this year than I can ever remember him playing. He's like so ineffectual, but I just feel like he's like, other than Kevin, the best player on the team, and he just kind of looks behind him. He's just like, these suck. Like most of these players are not even near anything. So like, why would I even try to make this? Yeah, why would I make this diag? Like he can't ping me from midfield to over the top or bend it or do some weighted ball. Like so,
even
like,
Ortega, who's been he's been doing the job of keeper well. He's not Ederson. It's not like Ortega makes a save. Haaland's not fucking on his horse like, oh my God, Eddie's going to hit me here.
Yeah.
He's just like, it's probably just standing there and fucking dick in his hands. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like, even, and Doku too is, I mean, we haven't seen him for thousands of minutes, but he just drives to the byline and then just corner or blocked something. Like he's never completed a pass in the box to Haaland in his fucking life. And it's just like he sees him
Kirkez. Like he just hits the ball as hard as he can into the fucking box.
Like he sees him driving down and he just stops. Like he doesn't even give a shit anymore. He's like, oh, Doku's gonna go do some fucking adventure and nothing is gonna come of it. So it's like I feel like he's getting like, maybe there's like a little
frustration.
A little frustration. I think Jack is maybe an integral piece, and he's 6'4".
But I don't think it's a pick.
I think he can be a pick very soon because,
but he's never been a pick really for City.
Well, I mean, we've both had him in our teams. We've both had him,
but it didn't go well.
Well, what if not next time? Next time's the time. I can see the world where because his issue of why he's never been a pick is he's never played minutes consistently. I mean, even in 2 years ago when he played the 2,000 minutes, it was always very stop-start. And I feel like he has to rely on, I feel like he's going to have to rely on him because he doesn't have the flexibility as he has in years past in the squad for other players to do those things. Like Bill can't do Jack anymore, and he could last year. He could 2 years ago. Yeah. So, I mean, I feel like there's something missing, and he can't play Kevin for every game for the rest of the season.
It comes back to the run that I actually just mentioned with all the leak dates, because that run is where maybe there's something there. Yeah. It starts with at Villa, which is like sometimes good, sometimes bad, usually good.
Yeah, and then
it's home Everton, at Leicester, home West Ham, at Brentford, at Ipswich, with a leak in at least half of those. If someone's nailed by then, or Kevin's fit by then, or something like that, there could be another pick emerging or something.
Yeah, I mean, those are, they have 2 home bankers that are good ones, and then all the aways are also bankers. So yeah, you have a good run. So yeah, I don't know, City. I mean, it was just, we were talking about capping Hall. Like, I wanted to do anything but Captain Palmer this week, and I stuck on Palmer, but, we were still
he only put up 85 XG, so...
Yeah. But we were talking a lot about Haaland, and the thing that why I didn't captain him was just like the bounce back felt like it was coming, but like based on nothing real.
Yeah,
like,
There's nothing tangible. I mean,
yeah.
What's funny is you say that, but when the lineups came out, my first reaction was, "Fuck! I should have captained Haaland."
Well, yeah, because it's Kevin. I mean, that was what we were
Kevin,
kind of
but it was
on.
also Chelsea play this, and let's talk about Chelsea. Chelsea play this fucking bizarro.
Oh yeah, and they had a lot of rotated.
They
players.
drop the center backs. They bring Gusto back in. They bring fucking Madueke in, Felix in. It was just like, what the fuck is this? They literally rotated, I think, 7.
Yeah, a lot.
So I was like, oh God, are they just going to be like non-functional? But, they score 3 goals. Jack Stevens pulling hair. It's just like easy mode for Chelsea.
They should have scored 5 or 7 or 6. I mean, they should have.
They did score 5. Number. They could have scored 9.
They could have scored like 8. Yeah, put anything up you want. But
yeah, it was almost another 9-0 for Southampton.
Yeah. I mean, Palmer getting only 1 goal in that game was a fucking crime against humanity. He could have had 4 returns easily. It could have had 4 returns. It's just Madueke is just the worst thing in the world. Absolutely despise him.
Really don't like him.
Brutal.
We both really don't like him.
Absolute brutality watching him play. I fucking cannot stand him.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, ultimately the process and the process was good. Like Palmer definitely best captain, the right guy. I mean, when you look over to Mo, where he only played a half, and it was his underlyings were very poor, and Quansah
weren't even
behind him,
great chances, and that he scored. He just did it.
He's just him, and Quansah behind him was a big issue. So but that was Cap.
But I mean, the Chelsea stuff, so Jeff said, if our team's fine, do we snap N. back in? Because everyone imagines he'll come back in.
Well, Anya said,
who's the best Chelsea player outside of Palm God to target? So many other players seem points chasey, having a hard time reading through that noise. Big Daddy X50 asking about Enzo. 4 returns and 4 at 4-8. He's an attacking 8 in the top 4 team on some set pieces. I mean, are there other picks? It's kind of tricky.
Yeah, I mean, I think it just depends on your risk appetite, because to me, I think the front 3 is or the 3 behind N. is fairly certain, and the biggest question is Neto versus
Madueke,
because Sancho I feel like is definitely first choice.
He's really good.
He just only plays between 60 and 75 minutes every game, and doesn't shoot that much. So is that a pick? I mean, it's a coverage pick.
Yeah, it's not a pick.
Yeah, I think it is. You could put him in your team, and you're not going to be doing a lot worse when you look around the 6 million midfield bracket.
That's fair. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, but I mean, you're not jumping for joy that you have, Sancho.
Right.
I mean, Neto. If Neto were actually first choice, then that to me would be way more of a pick, because for me, he has more FPL output possibilities than Sancho, who
he's done it before too.
He's done it before, and he has more goals in him to me than Sancho. Where Sancho just wants to create and take his guy on and then make a side pass or do something tricky.
Yeah.
Neto, with the directness, and if he does play, which I mean, if I were picking the team, Madueke would never start a game, and this would be the
he would start in the Conference League every week.
He would start the silly games, but I mean, it would be Sancho, Palm God, Neto behind N. That's
100%.
So obvious to me as their best options, but yeah, I mean,
we'll see if because there is a chance that Sancho is actually the one that gets dropped if he keeps doing Enzo number 10.
Yep.
And Palmer winger-ish, because then he wants the pacey guy on the left, and that would be Neto. But
I mean,
even Sancho, everyone we're saying, is basically not nailed. Even Enzo.
But that point also does, to me, add a feather in Neto's cap, because he can play either side, and he's really versatile there, and he can be really, really good on either side. So, I mean, to me, I feel like Neto, if I'm going to go for one, it would be him. Because he can play on either side. He's done points before, and he's
what about N. though? You didn't mention N. Because, I mean,
it's just so fucking expensive.
He's really expensive, and also this is a big ding for him that he got rotated. Not because he's not first choice. He's obviously first choice. He's on fucking fire. He's been playing great. But it does mean, the next time there's 3 games in a week, not including Conference League, he might get rotated a game, and they'll probably still win because their team is good and Nkuku's good. and that's hard to swallow when even like you compare him to like, Isak on pens nailed. Ollie now on pens nailed. That's the price range that he's, fighting with. And like those guys are never getting a fucking 0 minute, resting for fucking
he's fighting
Duran.
and losing. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you still can look at the fixtures, and he also NDOT gets subbed almost every game. I mean, but you still can look at this fixture run and just say, like, I think the Southampton game was a little bit more extreme than, I'm not too concerned with him missing another league game. It was just like such a perfect storm of them playing a B team with all the suspensions and it falling in the literal midpoint of, 2 really tough games that with Spurs on the horizon. And he's like, I can afford to do this. I don't think that's going to be themed.
I think he could do it again. I mean,
obviously he could,
but
I'm
next
saying like
tight run is 17 through 20. They play every 3 days. Away Everton, home Fulham, away Ipswich, away Palace.
I don't think you arrest him for any of those games.
Away Ipswich is the one. I think.
I don't agree. Like I think that Ipswich, I think, are just playing too good stuff to do. Like that's too disrespectful. I think, and it's too big of a leap. Like the Southampton game, I think, was really a perfect storm. But we'll see. He might back the Nkunku shout, and I'm just saying, like I think I'm a little less concerned with him being dropped for the fix the pile up again. But it's certainly a risk. And also, even if he is dropped for the Ipswich game, you can still look at the other games around it. He might not play 0 minutes, maybe plays 20, but it's still good enough where he can get
double
more points
in any of those games.
Any of them. Like, he can still outpoint Isak. He can still, really anybody in that run. It's just, so good. So, but yeah, he's just expensive. Like, to me, you're looking at, obviously we're sitting with Haaland and a lot of people don't, so they have an extra spot. But
it's easy.
I would prefer Isak. I would prefer Watkins. I would prefer João Pedro. So, right there, you don't get 4 forward spots. Like,
Jam asked about Watkins. Like, Watkins with pens, certainly something, isn't it? I mean, that's a huge
deal.
Difference in our evaluation of the fantasy player. And he's home Southampton this week. And I shouted it 2 weeks ago. I was like, the one thing about Ollie is home Brentford, and then he's by far the best captaincy in Gaming 15. And he still fucking is. Like, I wish I had him this week.
Yeah, I mean, and just to put into context again, the pens, right? He doesn't have pens. He got 5 points.
5 points.
He has pens?
Not even talking about it. Not even talking about him.
Not talking about him.
5 points subbed off in 64 minutes. We're just like, he's not a pig. He's too expensive.
On pens, 12-pointer. Like
12-pointer, max bones, easy.
Rested for the next game. Like,
for the next game. It's so ridiculous. And especially as we talked about earlier, how overpowered forwards are. It just makes pens even better because a free goal is max bones almost always.
It is.
Yeah, it's wild. Yeah, I mean he's emerging now.
Yeah, but Chelsea. I mean, they still have the defenders. Like, good run. They're picks.
Yeah, you got to get Badiashile. Badiashile Sune. He's gonna dong for you. He's got a dong for you. Benoit. Come on.
I was also looking at that because I was kind of intrigued because I was like, I've been getting no defender points all year, and I think I've had 1 goal from a defender, and it was like Poro Gameweek 1.
We definitely both had Poro Gameweek 1.
Yeah, I don't think I've had another defender goal all year.
How about an assist?
That's been good. I've had a couple assists. I think Trent had a couple, or...
God, I'm clicking through because now I really want to know. This won't take long, folks. I just got to click through all of Walsh's game weeks in a row. There's a lot of 1-pointers in there. There's a Rico 6-pointer that you think is a clean, but it's actually just a scam assist. Yeah, there's a Trent 8-pointer, but that's just a clean with bones. Dude, you're getting nothing. I'm down. I'm already at game week 5. Okay, Trent assists, game week 5. That's your last and maybe only other fucking defender attacking return. Damn, dude.
Good.
Fuck.
So now I'm getting what I'm paying for, and I'm fucking loving
You're
it.
going to get the same points.
Same points.
Except you're going to pay 8 million less.
Yeah, 8 million. Actual
not
8
bad.
million less.
Actual 8
bad.
million.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Let's talk about Boomo replacements. Voltaire manhandled the questions
I'm so proud of myself
here.
with the Boomo. So proud of myself.
Yeah,
honestly.
it's a good job by you. I'm also proud, by the way, because I don't think the cost was great to me waiting a week. And now I know everything I need to know, and he's a terrible pick, and that's it.
You needed the sixth game of no shoots, no shots.
I needed
the fifth game wasn't enough.
No, I needed the game of I expect them to play 2 forwards.
Yeah.
And him to be one of the 2.
And
he played right midfield. He played Semenyo's position.
Oh boy. We're fielding 2 questions in one.
Bolter said, are Wissa and Buma emergency sells? If so, whom's for? Parma said Bowen versus Gordon for the Buma replacement. And Bolter also said Iwobi, ?
Iwobi's not a pick. We were talking a little bit. I mean, Bowen was popular. Why does everyone's name start with B? It's wild.
Yeah, it's really weird. Yeah.
Bowen was popular ahead of this run. And I mean, I started with Bowen this year, right? And I felt like I was making out with like a bandit getting points for him because like I'm just watching them play and he just like doesn't do
bad.
They're so bad and he doesn't do anything. He's all speaking of playing six right wing. God.
Yeah.
I mean, that's Bowen's job to a T. But he put up really good numbers against Leicester and they have this really good run. Yeah, they have Wolves, Bournemouth, Brighton, Southampton next 4. Plays 90 minutes every game. And look, he might get fired after the game on Monday. We thought he was going to get fired before. I can't believe
he's not fired already. It's fucking unreal.
Yeah, it is somewhat unreal. I think he's maybe got a stay of execution because the IRL result was so absurd based on like what you're watching in the game.
I mean, they created a billion chances.
Yeah, I mean, on balance, the game should have been 4-1 in their favor and they lost 3-1. So like that's a hard thing to reconcile, especially when obviously they got destroyed by Arsenal as they should have, but he did put up a few good results before that. So
and their schedule has been insane.
Yeah,
it has actually been insane. And it's hard to even like look at Bowen objectively because it's been so insane because they've had so few like banker type of games. But it is true that in general, the easier the game, the better Bowen's numbers have been, straight up. Yeah. And so if we're going to extrapolate that out and say, okay, they're sticking with this fucking moron for a little bit while longer, so we expect them to play in a similar fashion. Fulkrug back can only be good. They haven't had a striker all season. They have Wolves, Bournemouth, Brighton, Southampton before Liverpool and City. You gotta imagine they're going to score some goals. I don't know how or what they're going to look like, but
yeah.
And he's not Bowen, a terrible pick. Yeah,
no, and I mean playing 90 minutes is also just such a huge boon to him.
It is
as an FPL pick. So, I mean, I don't have faith or trust him as a long-term pick, but
no.
For the next 4 game weeks, you have Bumbo, you're happy with the rest of your team more or less. And, they're somewhat similar price depending on when you bought Bumbo. Like, I think that's probably like top of the list. Cause I just want a fixture play here because there just aren't that many good options. And, the other one I do really like is Rash. And it was, somewhat predictable that he was going to be missing the Arsenal game, even though he has a good record against them, just because he did play the full 90 against Everton.
Rotated,
just rotating in the pile up. And, then they have NFO at home after what we just let NFO do away to Manchester City. I mean, I'm like, that seems like a good game. And, as we were talking about too with Rashford, is like all the games are kind of good because he's good at countering. And when they're dominating possession, it's like, sometimes he's not good in those games, but then also sometimes he just scores. So it's just like, whatever, the fixtures don't matter as much with him. It's more of just the way he looks. So he's 7 million. I like him a lot too. I mean, I think those are probably my 2, one A and 1B if I'm looking at the Boomer replacements in the price bracket. Eze is like, I'm still not sure.
I like Eze a lot. I'm surprised. I mean, like the fan thing is funny, right? And like, I don't have Mo and you're hesitant about Eze and we're literally opposite of those takes, but
I look at Eze.
No, I mean, I have him, but you're the one saying like, I don't know Eze, but you have him.
Yeah.
But like I'm looking at Eze home city at
You're
Brighton.
Fucking double down and
obviously, exactly. Obviously, Arsenal home in 17 is horrible, but all of the rest of these games, I just see goals. City and Brighton, very, very, very much included. I don't know. I think I like Eze more. I mean, he's also nailed. he has pens. He has direct freeze.
He has half the pens.
He has half the pens, which is more than the other guys at least.
Well, Bowen has all the pens unless a Paqueta's on, so he has like 1/4 of the pens because Paqueta gets subbed at 70.
How often does he play? Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
But
he didn't start last game, but
he didn't start last game, but he usually plays.
Sorry, keep going.
No. I mean, that's it. I don't have that much more to say. Yeah. I'm just really high on Eze, and I think that we're starting to see Palace hit like a little bit of a groove. Some good defensive performances. Mateta was beyond awful for an hour, but then we're not managers. The decision to rip him off was not in our power, so he stayed on and he did the things and got the goal. And I still just like the team. They're not as good as last year. Losing Elise is bad, but I think Eze is he's that guy. He's just made in a lab for FPL. He's going to shoot a million times. He's going to do incredible free kicks. He's going to take some pens. He's got the open play. I like him a lot.
Yeah, he's got some corners and set pieces he usually takes, more or less. But I mean, you're also just looking at, he has 1 goal and 2 assists all year. He's missed.
Well, he's been hurt also.
That's fine, but I mean, he's missed every big chance that has been presented to him, literally all year. Literally every single one.
And the refs have taken some away.
Taken a goal or 2 away from him. But there is something around that where it's like we're going into December, Christmas period, and it's just like, what is going on here? He's presented with much less than he was previously, but I got him for a reason. I love the player. I agree with all the things you're saying. And also when I'm looking at if I'm looking at like you're trying to midfield, in air quotes punt here, do I think he has like brace potential? No. It's like that's where I'm like, oh yeah, Rash. Like, well, I could see Rash fucking like hat tricking sometimes. Like if they hit 4, like, dude, we don't score more than 2 goals. We could play 200 minutes in a game and score more than 2 goals.
You guys scored more than 2 goals.
We just don't. Like our attack is not fluid. We don't create enough chances. Like we're playing with 8 defenders and we don't have Elise anymore. So we're like at most 2 goals a game. We literally haven't scored more than 2 goals all year in a game. So you're just looking at probably a pretty decent floor, but the ceiling is also very close to the floor. I mean, if you're like, maybe you're like a colonial times house.
The ceiling is close to the floor. I love that.
Yeah, but like, so I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
he's fine. 6'6". He's cheaper too. He's a lot cheaper than these guys, but but like, look at Bo in this game for Leicester, right? I mean, he's never putting fucking underlines like that in his fucking life. I mean, he hasn't approached something like that.
Like, early season, he did a little bit.
He had one, maybe the other game was maybe the Leicester game that we played
Leicester
them at home.
Did. They're fucking gift that keeps giving.
Yeah, but like, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, he's fine. He's fine. But I think for me, he's below the other 2 guys.
That's
like
fair.
If I could have afforded either of the other 2 guys, I would have gotten either of them for Eze. Yeah, definitely.
That's fair.
Definitely, absolutely, for sure, I would have.
Let's talk captain. So Fergany and Kev said, how many more consecutive double-digit hauls does Salah need to get for me to stop being such a stupid fuckhead and start capping him? Jitterbug said, I would never normally captain Salah at Goodison because it feels like a classic Dyche nightmare, but is he just doing too well to not captain him? And then Sauron said, I'm interested in your thoughts on an N. cap. Fully rested, he'd be the one to get behind the Spurs high line. Chelsea's whole squad will have 24 hours more rest than Spuds. I feel like Chelsea could hang a crooked number on them. What are your thoughts on those? I love the N. shout.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, it's a perfect game. Perfect, absolute, ideal opponent for them. For him, specifically.
Well, forget about all that. But what about just Mo? Like, we take the derby last game at Goodison. I mean, if you threw away that it's a derby and you were just looking at like Everton,
this team versus
league,
that team,
table position performances versus Liverpool league table, like it's not close, right?
Yeah.
Like it's not even a question.
I think
it's like first versus 16th. Like,
well, I was going to say I think you shouldn't throw it away, but what I mean when I say that is like look before you just say that. Like all Liverpool have done is just beat Dyche for years. And Mo has 3 goals in. He has 3. They've played 3 times since Dyche took over. And Mo has 3 goals in all the games and a million shots and could have had more goals. My only hesitation from that perspective is, like you said, Goodison last game is going to be fucking bananas. Liverpool were tired.
Very little rest.
Yeah, very little rest. And Liverpool were tired and bad for 60 of the 90 minutes versus Newcastle. And then the third thing is something I've believed for a long time, which is that, Klopp versus Dyche, it started badly and then they just won every game. They won like fucking 10 straight games. He figured them out and it wasn't an issue. But I have this theory that like every new manager has to get Dyched.
Gets Dyched.
They will get Dyched at some point or another and be like, this fucking league sucks. These refs are cunts. All they did was elbow and shithouse my players all game. And then they'll eventually figure it out and start winning games.
Yeah.
But every manager has to get Dyched once, or you're not really a Premier League manager. So there's like a little bit there for me. I don't know.
What do you think about just the ridiculous park stroll 4-0, like going into like, to me, I'm like, okay, they're going to be really complacent because they don't give a fuck because they just got 3 points.
Yeah.
But if they got 0 forward against Wolves, and we're like, then I'd be like, I'm terrified of this game from a Liverpool battering standpoint, because all I expect this game to be is Liverpool absolutely disassembly, like ass fucking them like the whole
that
game.
Won't happen. I can guarantee that won't happen because out of
but you
90
told me
minutes,
you told me something else about the Liverpool City game, and see how that was borne out.
No, but I said I was nervous. I didn't say we were gonna not win or something like that. That's different. This game will not be 90 minutes. Like they will not allow that. All they do like against Liverpool for minutes. Time in memoriam is just dive at every opportunity. Time wasted every opportunity.
Yeah.
Long ball, take forever on corners, like all the fucking classics. So
the winger picks the ball up for the throw and he drops it for the fullback to catch
gives
up.
To the other guy. Yeah.
How
many times are they going to hold their faces and go down? It's insane. And I'm not even shitting on them for that. They should do it. It's their best chance of getting a result. And they won last year. They know what they're doing. But
so you're saying even if you play 90 minutes for Liverpool, you're really only playing 60 this week.
Exactly. So I don't think a fucking 4 or 5-0 is even possible because there's just so little actual time where the ball's in play, especially not like I'm not even including dead balls where Mo is at 0. He'll never get a goal or an assist from a dead ball. And that's half the game is just going to be like corners and frees from 40 yards out and shit. So there's that, But like I said, I mean, he does score against them, most games. He has 3 goals in the 3 games since Dyche has been there. So, it's probably him. I assume most people will be on him. I mean, are you on him?
No, I'm actually on Saka.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I have in my current team, I have Haaland C and Saka V. So I'm not sure, but I was looking at those 2.
Yeah. I mean, my thing with Saka on this one is like they have the extra day's rest. And similarly, where I'm just kind of looking at Fulham were fucking terrific today. Like they were on it. They won very comfortably and deserved it. And I think that they're just going to kind of look at this as such a free hit of just like, whatever. Like we're kind of tired. Like we can get battered by 3 or 4 to fuck. And like, I'm fine with that. And I feel like that's what's going to happen over there. And like, I just feel like I have a better feeling of that game going well for Arsenal where they could score a high number. And Fulham don't park. They don't know what that means. And I just think that Arsenal have too much quality and skill. They're just going to play through them and destroy them. And they're going to be playing with fucking Bassey and, idiot at center back. And
I can't with Bassey, dude.
Yeah. I mean, the fullbacks are going to get cards early. I'm a little bit upset that he rested, what's it, not Aina, the other Tete.
Yeah.
He'll be a little bit fresher, but I mean, he plays on the other side, I guess. But, I feel like Fulham are just going to kind of walk into this game of like, whatever. And then like Arsenal are just going to be like, every single player in our team is better than every single player in your team, every single position. And we're just going to destroy you.
And and every single Fulham fan will say, we played Spurs, Brighton, Arsenal in 6 days, and we got 4 points. Great job.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
they'll be totally happy
yeah.
to lose this
Oh,
game.
for
They
sure.
did a great
Yeah.
job. Yeah.
Yeah, and like if they lost today, then I would be looking at this very differently. I'd be like, oh,
So you're going
like
full like gambler, like trap game type of theory
honestly,
crafting. I like it. I'm
well,
here for it.
when do I ever do? I don't ever do this because when you have a week, it's like it's thrown out. But when everyone is tired, like this shit matters a lot to me. Like in these weeks, like when it's like the extra day off, like the momentum, like what the mentality is, like who needs the result more, like because that's where you find your extra 5-10% of edge. Like your extra 5 or 10% of adrenaline or whatever it is. And
I always say that when a team, like this is on the same, it's related. When a team gets fucking hammered, I expect them to be tight next game.
Right.
It doesn't always happen. I'm sure the bad teams lose 4-0 back-to-back all the time, but it feels that way to me. Like, okay, Southampton just got absolutely fucking humiliated. If I had Ollie, I would still probably captain him, but I feel less good about it now that they're like, this will never happen again. Lumley's out of the team. Stevens is dropped. Let's get our shit together. Like, we're not going to get embarrassed again.
I mean, all their good players are also
Ibling's back. Carabella's back.
Downs is back. Yeah. But Haaland, I mean, my biggest thing with Haaland is like, I didn't look this up or pull stats, but I feel like whenever he plays teams that play three center backs, he doesn't play well. Like he just doesn't play well.
Yeah.
And
three guys
against
him.
us, against us, I'm just like doesn't feel like a good matchup. If it was at home for them, like I might be looking at it a little bit differently. I would
definitely captain him.
If it was home and all the other fixtures were the exact same, I would definitely captain Haaland. But away, like, and we circle this game. Like, we love when Liverpool come to Selhurst.
Yeah.
We love when City come to Selhurst. We love when Arsenal come to Selhurst. And we usually play really well in these games.
Yeah.
So I'm not.
And you guys have been playing well lately. It gives me
our defense has been good all year.
Defense has been good.
Yeah. I mean, we've had a couple wobbles, but
not early in the season.
No, not early. We were all sorts. But I mean, ever since we kind of put like LaCroix has been great, and Gahey was hurt before for a couple games. Like he's been, I mean, our defense has been good, and our midfield's we're getting healthy. Like even without Warner, we're looking healthy. So So Haaland's not a consideration for me. For me, it's
a really tough cap week. Really tough.
Saka and Mo is the two. Like I could still see myself flipping over to Mo.
I think Mo's the obvious one. Yeah. And I think the other thing is, if anyone owns Ollie, I would definitely captain him.
I agree with that completely. If I had Ollie, I would captain him for sure.
Yeah. Otherwise, it feels like, I mean, everyone's away. Except Ollie.
Joe Ladro, it just feels like...
Well, I've been down that route before.
He's not capable.
Also, I'm not even sure he's going to fucking start. He played like 80 today. Away. I mean, I covered this on the last pod when I did captain him against Southampton, who conceded 8 goals to everyone except Brighton. They just haven't been that good in the games they're supposed to dominate. They have not been great in those games. So it's not even on the option. He's not an option at all for this.
You're worried about him starting?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, they still have 80 guys, and he still played 80 minutes, and they lost. A lot of it may depend on Welbs, but I mean, Ferguson could easily start.
I didn't check like post game press. Why was he not in the squad?
I didn't see knock or something like that. Yeah, he wasn't even in the squad, so it has to be an injury. But I mean, Ferguson subbed on, Ruder subbed on. Like they could both start in forward and 10 position where he would be. So
yeah.
They got to get a Dingra away from that fucking team, though.
Yeah, he's not good enough. Yeah, so Saka, Mo. I think those are
okay.
What are you looking at Palmer at all? I mean, you're high on NDOT.
Yeah, I mean, I should be. By that logic, I should be. And they're all like clustered to me. They're all playing away. There's no obvious like home banker. Between like Palmer, Saka, Haaland. I know it's a fucking hard week. And maybe I should just rip it all up and get Ollie and captain him, but probably not.
That's nuts.
All my guys are away this week. All my attackers are away. Hate it. Yeah, maybe I should look more at Palmer. It just feels like he's been so quiet lately. He gets the fucking worldie and the dying right before he gets subbed against Villa. He gets like a fucking shouldn't have even been his goal, even though he should have had 5 returns. It's a fucking rando goal against Southampton. I'm just like, man, he's just scraping by his points right now. It doesn't feel like some sort of massive haul around the corner to me.
Yeah, well.
Yeah. No. Okay. All right, let's bang out these other questions. Platty said this question sucks, so I'm sorry, but who's the best dumb shit ass enabler 8th attacker? Rogers, Ahmad? Do I go down to Dibgod? Shots, same question. Which under 6 million mid should I pick? I don't have to start every week. Ahmad, Iwobi, Enzo, Rogers. So everyone's looking at the same guys. You mentioned El Canus to me today, which I like that shout. I mean, he's 4'8". He should start every game in the Rude era. He's good. I like him.
He's rested. he's
El Canus?
Yeah, I mean, what? He hasn't been playing all fucking year, right?
Oh, I thought you meant like, well, because he just played, but yeah.
No, he just. But I'm just saying, like this year in general, he's played a few hundred minutes. Yeah, he's been chilling.
Bilal Powell.
Yeah, Bilal Halal. Yeah, I mean, I was just kind of looking at this in this bracket. You know, I mean, I still think Dibbling is a good option, but
yeah, I'm like back in on Dibbling being, solid.
I mean, look, I want to talk about El Canus, but with Dibbling, right? I mean, he should have had a few assists. Like the pen was missed, that would have been his assist.
Yeah.
There was another time he was felled that he wasn't a pen that should have been a pen that would have been like, he's been close to points lately. But yeah, El Canus, like, if he's going to keep playing this way, like the way that he played against West Ham, he's going to be a decent option. I mean, there's definitely competition for his spot. Like Mavadidi's still there, and he played and scored he played all the minutes and scored all the goals for them last year. There's
but
certainly
not really the same position.
Yeah, but don't they if they want to put him in the team, they can shuffle. Like someone's going to have to go.
Yeah. Someone's
gonna have to get dropped. Like, I mean, one good nights is not going anywhere. I mean, he can't play this week because it's his Faja club, Faja club of Fajas. But
I think McAteer's the obvious. Like, who the fuck is this guy? Get him out of the team.
Yeah, that's possible. He's been also kind of good too when he's playing.
I know he kind of looks okay.
Like he runs around. He's like, he does stuff. But
yeah.
I mean, El Canusi's 4'8". It's like, you're punting big time, but. He could score a goal every 4 games or something like that, El Canus.
Yeah, I mean, he has really good numbers from, before when they bought him. He's kind of a number 10. He's not really a winger, but really good creative numbers. They bought him for 20 million. They bought him for a reason. They're, Fatawu is out for the season or something like that. It's like,
definitely he is out for the season.
And they need to get something from El Canus to stay up, probably. They just don't have that much quality, right? So, I think there's something there. I think he's a solid one for definitely not start every week. He's still on Leicester.
No,
8th attacker, whatever. I still think Rogers is a great 8th attacker. I mean, we both didn't think he was going to start this game. He's been bad. He's looked tired. Comes in, scores a worldie, could have had an assist or two also that, the one that got taken away from him, and then he could have also had another one to Ollie. He's just good. Villa are the perfect example of a team where in all of our collective heads, they're bad, but it's only because we're comparing them to last year where they were literally the 4th best team in the country. Yeah. They're still good. They're just like 7th. Mid-table. They're not 4th. Yeah. And it's like, that's a big drop.
Yeah.
But, they're still
that's
a good
huge
team.
Yeah.
And he's still cheap, and they have mostly good fixtures. Like, he's good.
Yeah, I mean, that's a huge thing. It's like we are comparing them to last year, and they are playing so much worse in the league than they did last year. That, if we were comparing them to Bournemouth or Fulham, we're like, oh yeah, they're exactly like that. And that's what they really should have been last year. Like, they were over their skis last year. So from that standpoint, but I mean, Rogers now, he's 5'3". It depends when you had him and stuff like that. But he still just feels
5'3".
Yeah, I mean, he started only at 5, so it's not, I mean, he went up, he went down.
Yeah, you're right. But for some reason, I thought he was 4'5".
Yeah, he's 5'3". So, I mean, it depends, like, what that money does for you, like going down 0.8 to get dibbling. Like if you're never playing this player, is like, then you're, but if you are doing some type of hybrid rotation, then maybe. But I still feel like Rodgers is just really lightweight. Like he had the goal this week, but like he subs early. Like he's kind of peripheral. His main job is just getting the ball in the middle third and just driving and then making a pass kind of thing. And he doesn't, he takes a couple shots, but not a ton. And for his price, it's just, what are you getting? It's, he's fine, but I'm not like, definitely spend extra on Rodgers by any stretch.
Yeah, I mean, his per 90 is basically 1 and 2 because he gets subbed. So we don't care about per 90 because he always gets subbed. But if you just look at it like per start, he's 1 and 2.5, which is still like extremely good. Way better than all of these players who are all 1 and 4 type of players. So yeah, like you said, it depends like what you need. How risky are your other attackers? Do you think you'll ever start him? Kind of thing.
But it's also not really, even the numbers he's put up so far, like doesn't feel very much like he should be on them.
Really? I don't feel that way. I think there are very legit numbers. He's not like hot finishing or anything. He creates big chances all the time.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, his big chances that he creates are just like making a side pass to Ollie, and then he like has a bad angle shot or something. And I mean, he has six returns, and I'm basically is like I expect him to get about 6 more for the rest of the season. That's good.
I'm not there. I think he's way better than that.
Yeah, I think like if he finishes the season with 12 total returns, I'd be like, oh yeah, that's great for him.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah.
No,
we're almost at the halfway mark. He shouldn't have been playing all these minutes. Like, it's insane. Yeah, and I think he's going to get injured soon because he's playing too many minutes.
That's possible.
Those are all other factors.
Well, if he gets injured, sure. But I wasn't factoring that into my equation. But last one is Ahmad, though. I mean, like, he's reverse out of position. It's bad. But he will start probably all the games. I assume he's first choice. He just, didn't start the Arsenal game. And he might get you a couple assists, but it's just not.
No.
What are we doing?
Not a
pick. Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah.
Big Daddy, any learnings for the cheap defender spot? 8 Nori, not inspiring much hope. Oh, this is Walsh's wheelhouse. Kirkez, baby.
That's Nate's wheelhouse. Yeah. They're just all shitters. So just get whoever you want.
God, he's a fucking weird looking guy, Kirkez.
Well, the haircut doesn't do him any favors.
The haircut,
looks like a fucking hedgehog or something. I don't know what he's got.
It really looks like a fucking bad old wig, like an SNL skit kind of wig or something.
Yeah. Like, here, pull this out of the 70s, like Studio 54 bin of wigs. And he's like, oh, I love this.
Just drops it on his head. It's like, this is my entire personality now.
I don't need the wig. Just do it to my actual head and my hair. Like, it's good. Great. I just live
play
with
this character for the rest of my life. Yeah, I mean, he's fine. Are any of them good is the question.
I mean, I think Palace defense is probably the best.
Yeah,
of the 4-5 defender, like bucket
Everton,
lot.
Mikolenko, except for these next 4 game weeks, I would put Everton still. Like, it's still insane that he's 4-3. They clean all the bad teams. They're just fucking insane. Yeah,
sure. But I mean, if we were answering this question in 4 game weeks, then that would be the answer.
Yes. I just wanted to throw it out there.
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, it's also, to be fair to him, like, they don't get better after the next 4 either. Like, they have hard home games.
Yeah, it's not great.
Like, they've been cleaning the good fixture, but those run out. Like, they don't just continue to
home
perpetuate.
NFO, like, that's a classic clean, right? I mean,
it could be, but it's also like they're not bottom 6 kind of team. Yeah. And I mean, they've been cleaning the bottom 6 at home, and they don't have a lot more bottom 6 at home teams left. They have
their next 9 games. Yeah. They have very few clean shouts.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, ideally, it's 1, probably.
And they have home Liverpool, at Arsenal, home Chelsea, at City, home NFO, maybe, at Bournemouth, unlikely. Home Villa, home Spurs, at Brighton before they have, maybe some other cleanable ones. That's fucking bad. Never mind.
Terrible.
Cancel.
Yeah, it's terrible. It's terrible.
I might sell him, actually.
Well, now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if you can afford the 0.2 to keep Milankovic, maybe that is the play. But Palace defense. I mean, we've had really good underlyings. Like we have a positive goal differential. Underlyings, like everything has been really good, and we've just been really sound. Like we have been solid.
Yeah.
We don't sell out. Like we've been covering really well in counterattacks, and the defense looks good. So we have
the fixtures are also fucking horrible.
Yeah, they're bad. I mean, we have a couple. We have City and Arsenal coming up, and then we have some tough aways. But I mean, they're not even away Brighton. Bad.
Away Brighton, away Bournemouth is bad for cleans.
Yeah, I mean, the way we've played, honestly, I could see a clean in either of those games. I really could. And the Brighton game's a Darb, which is always crazy. Like, I mean, Brighton, they look good, but they also just don't shoot for a half sometimes. Like
they don't
did
score
today.
A lot of goals.
Yeah. So, I mean, that and Bournemouth also, like, I don't know. I mean, the way I think that's underselling how good the defense has been. Like, if we're playing anyone from 9th to 20th, home or away, I think it's a chance that we keep it clean. Because I mean, dude, frankly, the underlines they've just been good. I mean, they've really just been they've just been really solid. So, I mean, look, like Newcastle rocked up and they didn't have a shot on target all game. Like you're not going to say that about many teams in the division this year. So it's just a litmus test.
They had one shot total. Fuck on target. They had one total shot.
Right. So I mean, and we were both watching the Ipswich game together. I mean, the amount of control that we had over the game was extraordinary, and it was an away game. Like so look, obviously Ipswich isn't a phenomenal team, but yeah, I think our defense is good.
Mitchell and Munoz are the picks, but if you couldn't afford them and you wanted a cheap one, is it Gehi? Is it Lacroix? Chalaba? Is there any difference between these guys? I don't know.
No, I mean, like, none of them are really great. I mean, Chalaba's really good at missing headers, but he also is the recipient of headers. I mean, Gehi famously just kind of never scores goals. So, I mean, he has 2 this year, actually, somehow. Well, he has own goals, too. He has a lot of goals this year.
He has a lot of goals.
Yeah, but, I mean, I never look at Gehi as like, he's good at goal scoring. Like, I fucking joke in the box.
It seems like he's better on bones than the rest of them, so I would just go Gehi and not overthink it. He's also, I mean, Lacroix is nailed at this point, but Gehi's the most nailed. If there was a scale of nailed to most nailed, it's him.
They're both nailed, but yeah. I think you just toss a coin. I think Chalaba would be my least favorite just because he's on loan. Richards is fit. Chalaba's bad. I don't know why he still plays over Richards. It's crazy to me. So I would definitely look elsewhere there. But yeah,
and I don't want to forget about Bournemouth. I mean, we were joking about Kirkes, but their fixtures are crazy. I mean, I didn't expect a clean today, obviously, with how Spurs play, but Ipswich, West Ham, Man United, Palace, Fulham, Everton next group is just really fucking good. And even though they're psychos, I mean, they'll run into some cleans there probably.
Yeah.
Short term.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. Okay. This is Shiv, long-time listener, just joined the Patreon for the first time. Oh, I can't wait to slap your ass later. How do I stop sucking and become good? Related, is it time to stop being a Haaland cuck? Oh, man.
There's a lot of shots fired in that one.
How do I stop sucking and become good? I just feel bad. You subscribed to the wrong pod.
Yeah, don't.
You made a mistake.
Yeah, go to one of the good the places where
FPL Wire, whatever.
Yeah,
the fuck.
They're like, look at my 8 times top 500 finishes. Listen to me.
I win India every fucking year. Yeah, I've never won India, and I never will.
Bigger population than any other country in the universe. Like, get fucked.
Yeah, like, doesn't matter dude. For the fucking LR.
I have no idea. We're sitting here talking about fucking Badiashile and shit. It's like, come on, get out of here. don't look at
You're
us.
here for hopefully you're getting some pleasure out of this because that's why you're here. Yeah, I don't know, cuck or not cuck. It's hard. It depends what your sexual preferences are. I'm not going to tell someone to not cuck, but everyone's
going to have Haaland again soon. It's just
Well,
I'm
I
so
realized
convinced by
when
this.
I was
like
saying,
that's where I think it's going to be January because he's going to fucking destroy December.
when I said the fixtures earlier, when we were talking about like Kevin shit and you were talking about Jack, I realized that like that's when everyone should be thinking about getting him. Everyone should be thinking about
Now.
Game Week 17 at Villa. Well, at Palace, home United, sure, maybe, but like that run at Villa, home Everton, at Leicester, home West Ham, at Brentford, at Ipswich. Maybe Kev is starting every game by that point. Hopefully, shit's going better. That's the fucking run. That's when everyone's gonna require getting him back in.
Game Week 18, Mo home Leicester, Haaland home Everton. Oh God,
Love it, love it. Surely Haaland will match him like he has been matching him every week.
Of course he will.
Yeah, there was a point at this game week when Haaland had an assist in the NFL game and Mo was only on an assist. And I was like, oh, chilling.
I'm fine.
No problem.
They're going to cancel each other
Haaland
out.
over Mo, no problem.
Yeah.
Easy. Oh, I did forget to mention when we were talking about City. I mean, Vard is still just like, at what point are we just, he's going to score 8 goals this year.
No, he's not.
So even though they're going to keep 7 cleans, it's still good. I mean, he's the most attacking nuts striker at double out of position nuts defender in the league by a lot.
Yeah. I mean, there's something to that for sure. I mean, he
just pops up in the middle of the box making striker runs.
Like he's Lewis Hall or something. I mean, who does he think he is? I mean, 8 goals is insane. He has 3. I guess I don't know 5.
He's kind of on pace. Yeah, I mean, he scored 4, but they were all at the end of the season when he moved positions last year. I mean, if he keeps doing this, he's going to score at least like 3 or 4 more.
Yeah, it's just like the cleans just look so insane for that to occur that I just still don't see him. He's 6'2", like... I mean, I still think he's a sell. Like, if you have him, I want to get out. I want money out of the spot. Like, I just don't believe.
There's something there. There's something there. Find the goals. He's like, if 8 Nori was good, that's Guard.
Sure.
Warranted, is Jomez still a no-brainer? Liverpool defense looked very suspect, or is it an overreaction? I think he has the spot still.
Yeah, I think it's an overreaction.
Yeah, I think so too.
I mean, I think Kwanzaa starting was a big problem. I mean, it just sucks that Bradley's hurt, but you just look at the run and Konate might not be back till February. Like, that's very reasonable.
Yeah, we have no idea. And we will have no idea until he plays.
Yeah. And it doesn't matter because, he's, even when if Slot's coming out and saying like, yeah, he's getting close or he's starting to train or he's touch and go, like the literal worst case scenario is that Konate starts in game week 21 and Jomez
sell your guy.
And you get 1 point from your defender. Like, I should only be so lucky to get 1 point from my defender when I play them. Like, you're sitting there like, oh yes, like Dunk starting today gets 0 points. Like, they get 0 points all the time. Like, oh, you might get -1.
All the fucking time.
It's a joke. So I think you're looking at that kind of cost benefit, and it makes sense that Jomez still feels like a no-brainer to me.
It's crazy how many defenders there are in the game who have played 90 every single game and can't crack 30 fucking points.
Yeah. I mean, it's a lot. It's dozens. There are dozens of them.
Wild.
Yeah.
Bolter, do I start Flappy Hands or Fuckford? Gotta be Flappy. Almost. Job on the line.
Life on the line.
His job and Lopetegui's job are both on the line.
I mean, Areola's fucking dog shit. He's
the next manager is going to love Areola.
Ugh. I don't know. I think it's pretty close, honestly.
Fuckford upside is like a 4-pointer, I guess.
Yeah. I think Flappy's upside is like a 2-pointer.
6?
2.
You think there's no chance of a clean?
I'm not going to say no.
There's some chance of a clean.
There's some chance of a clean. Yeah, Wolves are bad. They're a mess. Like, I think that this is a 3-save, 2-goal conceded 2-pointer from Flappy range. And I think from Fuckford, it could be like a 7-save, 2-goal conceded. Yeah. Maybe a 3-pointer. I don't know. I mean, you're probably supposed to play Flappy, but I think it's
It's a lose-lose.
I think the takeaway is you should get money out of Fuckford, and
well, we
that's
didn't
where
even
it
talk
is.
about that because I am considering it. Me who is like sworn to never make a keeper transfer, and all Pickford has done
You need
is just
0.8. Do
But
you need
like,
0.8 in money? Is that what I'm
I don't
hearing
have
you
to
say?
read the fucking next 10 fixtures again. But what am I
Yeah.
doing? Just holding a guy who I expect no cleans from in 10. Legit. That's what my expectation. Seems bad.
Seems really bad. Yeah.
Yeah, me and Sammy will talk about it on the live stream tomorrow.
But he also gets 0 points sometimes. It's fine.
Who? Pickford?
Yeah, he just did. And he sandwiches them with 6s.
Yeah.
You're flying.
6s and 11s and 15s.
I mean, it's still back. It's like if there's a 4 million starting goalkeeper, I'm like, I don't give a shit what team he plays for. Like, I want that player. I want to spend no money on the spot forever.
Yeah.
I've totally turned a page. Like when we were doing it with the Wardverson, I was like, is this correct? Is this good? Like, I'm so convinced that that's the correct way to play the game.
If Ariel was also 4-0, I would like it.
But if anything taught us anything at all in life, like, it wasn't any different. It's like, it's the worst defense in the entire league, and they got just as many points as like that goalkeeper tandem got just as many points as a lot of the 4-5s on the other teams, right?
That's what I'm saying, though. There's no tandem here.
Yeah, but I
think he could lose the spot any game.
Yeah, but then it's a transfer because that one doesn't exist. But he could also just keep the job for the rest of the year. Like,
he could, but I'm not willing to make a transfer there with the potential of making another transfer there. Yeah. I'm just like, it's too bad a position for me to do that. Yeah, I'll pay 0.3 more and get fucking Murich Hendo. I'll get Hendo for 0.3 more.
Yeah. That's
whatever it is. There's 2 questions left. Balsky said, how would you rank Arsenal assets? I'm owning Raya, Gabriel, and Saka. Is that worth transferring them around to get Timber or Odegaard? Yeah, I mean, I wish I could have 5 Arsenal players right now. I mean, assuming Gabriel's fine, I mean, he's still the best defender to own on the team.
I think I'd rather have Timber. So much cheaper.
Yeah, he's 0.6 less. Oh, actually, no, I've had Gabriel for a while. Might be more by now. Let me see. Gabriel's 6'2" and Timber's 5'6". Yeah, 0.6. And yeah, I mean, Timber's great for the 0.6 savings, which seems to matter a lot this year because there's so many premiums. It's good. But Gabriel just has fucking brace potential, which is ridiculous.
I think I would go Saka, Timber, Gab, Defender, Raya, whatever.
Yeah, I agree with that. And the last question, Captain Mary, I love this question. He said, what do you think the mystery chip is? Serious and unserious answers both accepted. We've never actually talked about, like, what could this fucking dumb thing actually be? Is it just all-out attack?
I don't even really look at like what the thing is. Like, what does it say in the game when you look at it?
Let's do a little investigation.
Mystery chip info. What's inside the mystery chip will be playable from January 2025. I mean, it can't be another wild card because we get another wild card.
Can't be.
So that's out.
And it definitely can't be another, like, it won't be any of this current chips reheated. It's not going to be another triple cap. It's not going to be another free hit. There's no way. It could be all out attack, but I don't think they would bring that back as such a monumental failure.
No fucking chance.
Like, I almost don't think it's anything related to all out attack, like a formation changing thing, because they would have learned the lesson, I think, from all out attack that just doesn't benefit anyone because no one has good benches and shit. It's not that kind of game. I wonder what it is. I struggle to actually think of something that it could be. It could be
Limitless,
which is just a free hit with unlimited budget.
Yep.
Yeah, it could be a Limitless.
Because in terms of the other games, like, that's something that FPL's never done that Fuckles had for a few years.
Same with the captaincy thing from World Cup and Euros. Yeah. That's what I was thinking, maybe the auto cap for 1 week.
Yeah.
So you play it on a double game week, and who your highest point scorer automatically gets the cap. That could be.
Which should be a good chip to play in this game because it gives you a feels good when you have 11 double game weekers and you're just like, well, whoever gets the highest, I'm going to get double. And
I have
that's
all the
great.
guys.
Yeah, I have everyone. I don't have to stress about do I do Saka or this guy or whatever. And yeah, I mean, that would be fine. I mean, the limitless chip, I think, is fucking stupid. Like, it's a really
I hope it's not because it's just another free hit.
It's another free hit.
It doesn't become like you don't take advantage. There's no like fucking 15 million players that I'm like, oh my God, I can get every single player.
Yeah, totally.
It's stupid. It's probably something like that. But they're capable of fucking anything so hard.
It could be like your mystery chip is like you can change your fan league or something. You're like, oh, great.
I can finally, your change names all get reverted to their original names.
But like in terms of what it could actually do, like you can't do anything to the knobs of the player prices or like how many players you have in your game, like in your team or something. Like,
no.
So there are very set things like within the confines of you have these 15 game pieces. You know, we have the function of the game with like the captain pick or the captaincy. Like they're not going to be like, oh, it's I don't know, like quadruple captain like that. They've already done that. Like, so I don't know. I mean, there could be something completely creative outside the box. You know
what they could do? They could do a free hit for one player.
What's that?
Just like a designated donger is what I would call it. But you can just bring in one guy. You have 12 players for 1 week and you can just bring them in for that 1 week. But so let's say I don't have Haaland, but City have a double game week. I just use my fucking designated donger chip. I have Haaland temporarily only for that 1 week.
Yeah, I mean, and you hope to get
disappears.
You hope to get 12 points. Like, I mean, it's basically the same amount of points as all the other chips.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get an extra player. Like as you do, you get an extra player with triple cap.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
It would be fun if they were a little more creative, but they don't have the fucking balls.
They don't have the processing power. I mean, they can't update the game in time. Are you kidding?
Yeah, I know. They can't even update the goddamn game. But before we pod, it's fucking insane. Imagine the mystery chip was just double your amount of free transfers at this current moment.
So, like, if you have 5, you click. You have 10.
Or if you have 2 and you need to make a lot of moves, you just rip it and you just use 4.
Yeah, that's kind of nice.
That'd be sick.
Yeah.
All right.
Super powered transfer chip.
Yeah, some ideas for the people. All right, dude. Let's wrap it up here. Let me slap asses. We got 3 new signups. Shiv, aforementioned Shiv Morjaria, Tom, and some whim. Get in there, baby. Slap that ass. Thank you for signing up. Walshy, any last words by you?
I will not see you tomorrow. Enjoy the live stream, solo live stream.
I will. Enjoy your vacation.
I will.
And send me your team and moves and shit tomorrow. Are you going to be on Discord? Like, are we going to chat tomorrow? Are you gone?
Probably. I mean, I'm going to be driving and out, but, you know, I'm on my phone all the time. But, I'm chill. I mean, I just have to figure out my cap. I'm not making any transfers.
Okay.
I'm definitely saving. But, yeah, I just have to figure out if I want to do soccer or Mo. Maybe I'll ask Lauren and she'll make the call.
Lauren will know, or Damien will know.
Yeah, I don't know. He's unreliable these times.
All right. Check us out at fmlfield.com. Follow us on Twitter at fmlfieldsportspage.com/fmlfield. Subscribe, rate, review, and cheers.